Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Banished, shall we? So, I want to correct something that I said earlier. I'm still learning so much about the intricacies of the game because there's, some mechanics that are less obvious than others, but the well, we will actually end up building it. I'm going to show you it's in town services, and the well, on its descriptor, it just says it's for putting out fires, and fires are a disaster, so we have disasters turned off. I was like, we don't need this. Actually, though, the well provides happiness as it's a, kind of like a watering hole for people to come, hang out, talk to each other, and it is a nice way to provide a little happiness. So we will be thinking about constructing one. So that's good to know. Sometimes it might not be said there, but let's check to see if in the help, if I were to, look at the well itself and see if we could find anything about what it does here. No, not necessarily in the help, but on the Banished wiki, it gave me that information, as well as a commenter let me know in my Let's Play, and I was really thrilled to see that. So, there you go. Alright. And as we look at our situation, we have an extra builder because we're not building anything, but let's put them back. And let's say, okay, the tailor is done because we've turned all of the leather over, and the blacksmith is working away to try to get to 50. Tools take a lot. They take a lot of iron and logs to make, so we're going to be using a ton of iron. Luckily, we have a bunch of iron down here. I think it might be best for us to turn our attention to finishing. You know what? Let's do the herbalist. So I'll just unpause that and get that going for some medical help. So then, if we're going to build a well, let's just plan it. Let's just go ahead and say, all right, fine. We want to build a well. We want to build it centralized for people who here are able to access it, and I will put it right there. But we will simply pause the construction for now. And I'm going to go back to 5 times speed. We have 1,000 food. I'm loving it. Kind of one thing that's nice is just make sure that you've got a bunch of stuff marked for removal so your laborers are actually doing something. And actually, you see all this iron up here, it's not marked. So let's just go back over here and let's collect all this iron that we have up here. There's a nice amount. So let's get that going. And let's get some of this too. I'm not going to do all of it just yet. We'll eventually do it, but I'm going to mark a bunch of it. We need to turn it into tools for ourselves so we don't run out. So we do have a road that kind of goes this way, but we don't have a road that goes all the way to the herbalist. So it is going to be nice to get a road out here. And you see we have a little bit of an elevation change, so oh, right. Okay, so the mountain is making it hard for us to get there exactly, but that'll do. Wonderful. So it is a bit of a far drop-off to this barn for the herbs, but that's okay. You do not go through herbs fast, so we're just going to get some herbs. I like to have about 100, and then that's more than enough. You can see this is a pretty low-impact building, too. 12 stone, 30 logs, not hard for us to do. Alright, and we went way up on tools. We're already up to 35 as the blacksmith just crushes it. I'm doing a good job removing all of this. And it looks like our orchard, yep, you could see some fruits. We're going to have peaches this year. So, the forester's log lodge is done, and that is because we have a log limit of how many stored logs we want. I'm going to actually turn this way up to 400. It's nice to have a bunch of logs to turn into firewood or just for a reserve. However, there might not be any logs for them to gather, and they might have planted all that they can, but that's okay. .22 population, feeling good. It is 100% time to build another house. Now, let's check what these people are doing. Gatherer, laborer, builder, forester, hunter, student, gatherer. So all of the jobs that are out here are filled by these houses, so I'm only going to build one more house out here. And this person could be an herbalist, and then when we want to put on more gatherers and hunters, that family should take care of that job. And then that's enough houses out here. We're going to build the rest of our houses inside the town center. We're going to kind of move down south this way. You need to keep space open that's flat for farming and for livestock and things like that. So we're just keeping our eyes on that. You can see we're doing a good job here finishing the herbalist hut. $950 food, 300 firewood, 277 logs. And let's see. I'm going to go to the removal. And let's just do all of this, please. Excellent. And then, yeah. Get this too. And then we're going to focus on just stone. There's a bunch of stone over here. Now you might say things are moving slowly, and they are. But I'm going to tell you that this is the name of the game, at least in my opinion, especially if you're beginning, to not go too quickly. Don't build too fast. Do one project at a time. And now, we actually need an herbalist here. So I'm going to peel off one gatherer temporarily, just so I can assign an herbalist. This house is going to be getting made here eventually. So even the blacksmith is just about done, which is awesome. Yep, they got the 50 tools, so they're going to go do some gathering for us, just pick up some laboring stuff. So we have a great amount of tools, a great amount of clothing for our small population. Students are learning. We're clearing out this area. Remember, we're going to move, the orchard will probably stay here, just because it takes so long to replant. But we are going to be moving these fields. And if we're going to be putting houses all over the place, we could, at this point, now that we have a lot cleared out, we could think about building ourselves a market. And then we could say, well, we're going to have the market, here, for example. And we could then start building houses right around it. We would move these fields and move these storage piles, and then this would be our market. And so I'm going to click it right there, but we're not going to build it. We're just going to kind of leave it here as, something for us to do later and block it in because it needs a lot of space. You can see now most of our young people are students. They're all learning, and they're going to start entering the workforce, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. This house is just about finished. It's got all the supplies. It's just being built. And as soon as some families get out of this boarding house, we're going to start having even a little bit more growth. It's done. And people will probably immediately, move in. So the blacksmith, the teacher have moved in. And we'll move them closer once we build some houses in town. That's just preparing us for all the houses I want out here. It might even be one more than we need, but if we want to maybe put some farmland out here, then the farmers can live there in this kind of suburban setting. And we have 23. So now, we don't have a project for a builder, so I'm going to unpause the fishing dock, get that going. You could see the food's coming in. Pumpkins. Yep. The peaches are coming in. They're at 100%, and now they're going to get picked. Alright, so they've taken all of this iron. We have actually a really good amount of iron. I'm pleased about that. So I'm then going to just start gathering all of this right here. Oh, that was just trees. Yeah, no, all of it. Or is this already queued up? Oh yeah, it's already queued up because it's under the market, which is a building. So it might not get moved until we tell it to actually make the market. And that's fine. We're going to want to preemptively block in roads like all the way around the market. Just so we know where to build things. Actually, something we can do is just remove this stockpile. So if you want to remove it, you just go to... oh, and it's also worth explaining, you can use this up arrow to increase the priority on something if you want that to go above everything else. But if you want to remove something, you just click on this, and then there's remove structure, and then you can just target any of it, and it will go away. So now that little extra stockpile that we built is gone. We'll move it up here so that I can continue this project of just building a road all the way around the market. Like so. And then if we want a stockpile, if we're like, hey, we need that stockpile back, well, then we can just, you know, put it over here. Wooden house there is pretty sweet. We're up now to 24 people. And because we have 1,500 food, I'm more than happy to build another house. And this is going to be kind of moving us towards the center here with some homes. And look, our storage for logs, stone, and iron is near capacity. So we just need someone to finish this stockpile, and we'll be all set. Alright, so the builder will come do that. Now, interestingly, we didn't have somebody to do this, but we just did. One of our children became old enough to fish, and now we are going to have somebody fishing. Okay. We need somebody to come work on this. This actually might be the job of a laborer to do this. So if I want this to happen, I could just click increase priority of this job. Do it. And there they go. So now we increase the priority, it's done, and now people are using this for storage, and we have no more problems. The barn is only 25% full. It's just this one stockpile that's all full. Alright, so now I have 2 laborers, and we're not building anything, so we need to finish a project and pick one to do. We've got herbs coming in. We actually have 62, which is awesome. Let's go ahead then, and you see now that we have the herbs, the average health went all the way up to 5 stars, and the average happiness is cranked as well, so we don't really need a well at the moment. It is a good idea, but what I think we're going to want, and the market is a big project, but let's see here. A trader is good, but it's not mandatory at the moment. We're going to want a trader, so that we're going to build that over here, like on an access point on this river, so that they can come in and with their boat they can drop off stuff, and we'll be able to buy livestock, seeds for products that we don't have, things like that, that we need to bring in. But that's not a priority. We're going to need stuff to sell for that. We want to just kind of grow our population and make sure that we are doing the best with what we already have. And I think we could consider a chapel, but the well is going to provide that happiness for us for a bit. A town hall is very, very nice for data and things, but it does take a lot of stone, so we're going to need to get there. I think getting ourselves... So we have a woodcutter, we have a forester, we have an herbalist, we have a blacksmith, a tailor. A tavern is not bad. We can use the berries and the mushrooms that we've been collecting to make some booze, and a mine and a quarry are useful, but we don't have to have them at the moment. Let's see, food production. We don't have any livestock. We do have the gatherer's hut. We have an orchard. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and just actually finish this house. We'll just build that. And now we have 24 people, and this will kind of be the last house that we build for a while. As we just make sure that we have enough food. But honestly, we will, because we have hunters, gatherers to even put into their job. We can build more fields if we want to. All right. Now, one of the nice things about the market is that the people who work here, they will use incredible wheelbarrows and things to really distribute the supplies better to everyone. So it's pretty nice. How you doing? They're doing all right. They're catching some fish. Okay. So we're going to build the market. This is a big project. It at least gets this iron out of the way, too, for us. I like to keep this about 1,000 extra food. 2,000 is really good, but 1,000 is fine, considering we can scale up our food if we need it. And if I see that I'm around 1,000, and we want the population is a little bit skewed when you start out because you have a lot of young people, but what you want is to make sure that this number of students and young people never diminishes too much. You really want like 20, maybe 30% of your total population to be young so that you are always growing. And if you are running into a wall, you can throttle that, or if you want to accelerate growth, you can go over that. Now, right now, we're like, 40, 45%. We're pretty high. But that's okay. And it's okay for us to build some houses. It's not going to expand our growth too much because we still have a family that's living in the boarding house. So we can build one more house. There. Now you see we've got all the supplies for it, but it took a bunch of our stone. There's a good bit of supplies down here for us, so we need to start queuing up the extraction of more resources. So let's just say, get all this, please. Everything. Let's move down there. Now you'll notice that they started building the house and stopped doing this. So I'm going to actually, increase the priority on the market. And I can even go one step further by pausing the house. I only have one builder. Now we have another laborer, so I can assign them to building because somebody has matured and graduated from school. Excellent. Oh, sometimes I accidentally close that window and I don't mean to. There we go. We got another laborer. I'm actually going to get myself another hunter. I need I'd like to get to 50 clothes. I just like to have that number. It's not necessary, but I did it again. You can see our food is starting to taper a bit, but we are planting. It's spring, and I did just assign another hunter. So that's good. This is almost done. They're going to finish this in a heartbeat. And there it goes. So the market needs someone to work there. So it is a vendor, and I'm going to take off one builder and put on one vendor, and here it goes. So this is going to start getting filled up with supplies to evenly and more easily distribute things, and this will mean people have to travel less to get them into their home. They can work more. And that's why we're going to build our houses around the market so that they can go to their jobs, but they don't have to shuttle back and forth to the different barns to pick up what they need and things. I've got another laborer, so I'm going to actually top in a gatherer to make sure that our food stays online. 37 closed is good. You see this is starting to fill up. And yeah, you can see the vendor here. Let me, where'd you go? Oh, I thought I just saw them tooling away. Yeah, here they are. So the vendor is able to use, this cart, this like wheelbarrow thing, whereas the regular people have to just pick it up with their hands. So this is more efficient moving of the goods. All right, and now I have nothing being built. And now there's nobody in the boarding house, and everybody's in a house. Now, even though we have a bunch of houses built, we're not going to actually grow population because nobody's going to move into the boarding house unless they have to. So we're going to need to build another house to allow ourselves some room to start growing. So I'm going to put a house right there. Food is, a little bit low, but it's not horrible. It's starting to drop a bit, and that's okay. What we're going to do is just begin to assign more people to gathering and hunting, and if we need to build another field for food or put down another fisherman or even make another one of these nodes, we can, but we have a lot of room. And you see we already bounced up to 673, so it's totally fine. Alright, the herbs are full. And our laborers have plenty of stuff to do to gather things. This is getting accumulated. Tools are done. We got plenty of iron. We could use some more stone. Wood, firewood, very good. Herbs, good. Clothing is getting up there, 37. Food, getting back to 1,000 as we get the harvest. How have you been doing fishing? So last year, you're doing much better this year. Got a full year under your belt. I was worried that, it's odd. This is a strange spot, and I wasn't sure if this was going to mess with us, but we're doing okay. That's a reasonable amount of production for just one worker right there. And it does provide us with another element for our diet, so it's good. And we're back up to 1,500 food. Excellent. We're just waiting for these kids to start growing up, and then we can really, really grow. But at this point, it's a little bit tricky because we need so many different workers to be occupying the different professions that we've opened up. Now, another thing we can do is start upgrading these homes to stone if we wanted to, but we have a bunch of, structures that we need to develop with stone anyway. So, speaking of stone, I'm going to just select stone right over here and get a bunch. You're going to notice that stone is quite difficult to come by. Iron is too. You're going to need way more of it as we get into more advanced buildings, but for now we're doing okay on that. 1,700 food is phenomenal. So the extra hunter and the extra gatherer are really paying off because we're kind of sitting here at 24. Now that we've built this house, you're going to see that what the game does is when you build a house, it prioritizes a young couple to move in so that they could start having children in that house. So people have already moved out and they're going to start having children. Now, if we wanted to, we could pick, one of these houses, for example, and we can click this button to upgrade it to stone. It's 40 stone, 10 iron, and 24 wood. And I believe that's actually for the whole thing. So we will get a bit of a kick, like a discount on some of that, but not a ton. These people will become homeless, but because we have a boarding house, they'll just live there until their house is upgraded. It's not a huge need at the moment. They're not complaining about being cold. Firewood is not an issue, but it is nice, and especially if you're playing with disasters, it's really good to upgrade your houses from wood to stone so they don't burn as easily, or at all, depending. Okay, so the market is, doing great. And we're still at 24 distribution, but these people will probably have a baby soon. And now, I'm going to drop in this well, get that done. It's going to take a bunch of our stone. That's okay. And we have the extra laborer. Fantastic. You can see that we're running low on stone is what they're telling us about because they're using it all to build this well, which is fine. I'll assign this to a builder, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're getting more resources out of this area if we weren't already. Perfect. Well, everybody, we built ourselves a market. This is pretty early to build the market, but we have the resources, and it's nice to have and start building houses around it as we grow. And you can see that more and more of our population is growing up. We're going to build, we should just probably start that now. We might want another house right there. And we are really, really thriving. We've got herbs online. We are almost, at our limit on clothing. Definitely are on tools. We got a well coming in. We're fishing. And I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take care.